Hi! Today we have Opel Astra with 1.9 CDTI engine with 16 valves. The problem with this engine is the cylinder head gasket. It started to make pressure into the coolant system, and after a couple of days also it started to have difficulties to start the engine, and when it started it was making smoke. That's why I'm going to remove the cylinder head and see what's the problem with the cylinder head gasket. Now, as you can notice, I have removed the battery. I'm going to remove the battery stand, 3 bolts with 13mm wrench. The other one is located here. You cannot see it with the camera, but it's down there. Also, I'm going to remove the expansion tank. I'm going to disconnect all the 3 hoses. The expansion tank can be pulled out like this towards the battery. Next, I'm going to open these 2 bolts with female Torx 10 to remove this small part of the inlet manifold, and I'm going to open this metal bracket. So I'm going to remove together with the hose. Next, I'm going to remove the throttle body. There are 3 bolts with 5mm hex wrench. One is here, the other one is here, and the third one is over here. I have disconnected the vacuum hose, also the oil breather hose, and I have disconnected the ECT sensor. Next, I'm going to remove this metal pipe for the egg air. 2 bolts here with 13mm wrench, and 1 bolt here with 5mm hex wrench. Next, I'm going to raise the vehicle. I'm going to drain the coolant, and after that I can remove the thermostat and also the air cooler. I have raised the vehicle, so now you can see there is a plastic cover under the engine. So we have 1 bolt. Here should be a plastic pin, also here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and also on this side 10. And here should be 2 fast pins, but they are missing. These bolts can be opened with Torx 20. So now you can see the plug on the coolant radiator. I'm going to open the plug and drain the coolant, and also I'm going to disconnect the exhaust. Now we have here 3 bolts with 13mm wrench. We have 2 bolts here on the exhaust mounting. So now I'm going to lower the vehicle. So now I'm going to disconnect all the hoses from the thermostat and also from the air cooler. Next, I'm going to remove this nut with 10mm wrench, and there are 2 bolts with 13mm wrench that hold the thermostat. Now there is some change on the 1.9 with 8 valves. First you had to remove the air cooler, and after that you can reach the bolt that holds the thermostat. So something is changed. Now it's easy to replace the thermostat, but I have to remove both of them because I am removing the cylinder head. So now you can see the 2 bolts of the air cooler. They are also with 13mm wrench. Now I'm moving at the top side of the engine. I'm going to disconnect the fuel return lines. I'm going to disconnect the wiring from the injectors. I'm going to remove the common rail. The common rail is tightened here at the back. There are two bolts with 13mm wrench. Also, I'm going to disconnect the wiring. I'm going to open these two bolts with 10mm wrench, and one we have at the back here under the air valve, so I can remove these metal pipes for the vacuum. I have disconnected the cables. Had two bolts here for this plastic bracket for the cables for the injectors. Also I had three bolts here with 10mm wrench of the coolant pipe. This one was with 17mm wrench, and on the injectors with 14mm wrench. Next I'm going to remove this oil evaporator pipe, disconnect the hoses, remove these two bolts for the metal brackets, remove this metal clamp so I can open the bolt of this injector. The most difficult thing in this job is removing the injectors. If they are stuck, then it's a different story. We'll see how it will go. I have removed three. Now you can see how much there is rust inside, but I have managed to move them. Now this one is a little bit more stuck, so I'm trying to make him turn a little by pushing like this, and it started to turn a little. I have used some penetrating oil. Now there is also a problem that you can't remove this bracket that holds the injector, so you can turn it more, but it's good thing that is moving a little. I'm going to use a lot of more penetrating oil and trying to move it, turn it like this, so I can pull it out after a while. After around 10 minutes more or less, I have managed to remove the injector. Now don't get me wrong, but I have a counterweight for pulling the injectors, but the problem is you have to remove the solenoid of the injector, and when you remove the solenoid then you have to take that injector to the specialist for injectors, and he has to put it back together, test it on the machine, so it's time consuming and also it's money consuming, because also he's going to charge you for reassembling the injector. And if the injector can move, then why not struggle a little and remove it without disassembling the injector. Okay, so next I'm going to work on this side of the vehicle. I'm going to remove the air filter housing, remove the hose that goes into the turbocharger, remove the hose that is coming from the turbocharger to the inlet to the intercooler, sorry, and I'm going to remove the plastic covers of the timing belt. Next I have disconnected this hose of the coolant radiator, and I'm going to open two bolts that hold this pipe with 10mm wrench. One is over here, the other one is here, and also I'm going to remove this bolt with female Torx 10 that holds the oil dipstick. And after that I'm going to try to open these two bolts with 6mm hex wrench. If they can't be opened, I'm going to open this metal bracket here with 5mm hex wrench. Now this metal pipe has two more bolts. I don't know if you can see it on the camera with the mirror. It's connected with the cylinder head, so I have to remove them. I'm not sure if you can see them on camera, but they are there. They can be opened with 5mm hex wrench. I've removed the two bolts that I was talking about, but something is still holding. So I'm going to remove this plastic cover of the timing belt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts with Torx 40, and these two bolts with 13mm wrench. Yes, the plastic cover for the timing belt was holding. Also there is a bolt that the plastic cover is bolted on this metal pipe. So now I'm going to try to open these two bolts and remove this metal pipe together with the air cooler. I've removed the heat shield from the exhaust. One bolt here with female Torx 10, also female Torx 10, and these three nuts with 10mm wrench. The location was very difficult to show you in place where are the bolts. That's why I remove it and record it. So next I have to remove the exhaust manifold, disconnect the oil filling pipe and also oil return pipe of the turbo. We have removed 8 bolts with 12mm wrench. The good thing is that they come out with the nut came out with the bolt together, so now I don't have to remove the whole turbocharger from the vehicle. I can just pull out the cylinder head without removing the turbocharger. Otherwise I had to raise the vehicle, remove the metal bracket that holds the first catalytic converter, and also I had to disconnect the oil return pipe. Next I'm going to open this bolt with 18mm wrench with impact wrench, and I'm going to disconnect the timing belt. Later when I'm going to install the cylinder head, I'm going to support the engine and install the timing belt correctly. Now I just have to remove the cylinder head and remove the vehicle. So I'm going to open this bolt with impact wrench, and this bolt here, this one is connected with the cylinder head. I'm going to try to pull out the cylinder head together with the inlet manifold, because removing the inlet manifold now on the vehicle is very difficult. Next I'm going to open these 18 bolts with 13mm wrench that hold the camshaft cover. We have removed the camshaft cover, also the hydraulic lifters, camshaft followers. So now I'm going to open the 10 bolts of the cylinder head. They can be opened with this tool. It's similar like Torx, but these ends are much more wider. And also I have noticed that I have to remove the vacuum chamber at the back because it's tightened with two nuts with 10mm wrench on the inlet manifold. I will try to show you, but it's very difficult to put the camera over there. I have removed the oil evaporator hoses, so now we can see the position of the two nuts, and also there is one more over here. Someone has removed it before, someone has doing something on this vehicle, so it's not installed. Now I just have to remove these two nuts and open the cylinder head bolts and pull out the cylinder head. Also I have to disconnect this hose, or I should open these two bolts with Torx 30, and also I have to open this metal pipe at the fuel pump with 14mm wrench. I've opened all the bolts from the cylinder head, removed everything here, but I have encountered a problem. I have opened the nuts of this metal bracket, but there is another aluminium bracket under the metal one, and this one, the metal one, is holding somewhere at the bottom near the starter. So I'm going to raise the vehicle and see where the bracket is bolted. This is the bolt that is holding the metal bracket. It can be opened with 10mm wrench, and I think that one is the only one bolt. So I'm going to try to open it and see if anything else is holding. I have removed the newer bolt, but I still can't remove the bracket. So I removed the air separator, two bolts at the top with 8mm wrench, and one hose at the bottom. And now I can see there is another bolt that is connected with 13mm wrench. Next, on the top of oil cooler. It's very difficult position, so I can show you on camera. Finally, I can move the metal bracket like this and remove these two bolts that hold the aluminium bracket, and I can pull out the cylinder head. I've removed the cylinder head, so now we can see there is a lot of damage here. So from this side to here, all this black means that compression leak, and it's also on the cylinder head is the same. This is the gasket, also we can see on the gasket here. So now I'm going to disassemble the cylinder head. I'm going to remove the inlet manifold, coolant pump. I have to disassemble the valves, and I'm going to take the cylinder head for machining to make it flat again. The cylinder head is back from the machine shop. It's been machined. Now it's flat. Also they machined the valves. So now I'm going to install new valve steam seal, and I'm going to install the metal springs. We've put the metal springs on the valves. Also I have installed the inlet manifold, because it's very hard to install it while on the vehicle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 nuts with 12mm wrench. Here I have a new gasket that I am going to install on the vehicle. This is the part number. I have cleaned the engine block with wet sandpaper and some small amount of petrol to keep it clean. And now I'm going to install the cylinder head gasket and the cylinder head. There are two center pins here and here. They also have to be installed. They are for alignment of the cylinder head gasket and also for the cylinder head. I have installed and tightened the cylinder head. I have followed this pattern, and it should be tightened at 68 Newton meters and 3 times 90 degrees. Next I'm going to install the gasket and install the camshaft, also the hydraulic tappets and camshaft followers. I have installed the hydraulic tappets, camshaft followers. Also I have tightened the exhaust manifold. I didn't mention it previously. There are 8 bolts with 12mm wrench. We have 4 at the top, and we have one. The other one is somewhere here. Where is my finger? But at the bottom. One we have here at the center, and one we have here at the end. Total 8 bolts with 12mm wrench. So now I'm going to install the camshaft cover. I have installed the camshaft cover, 18 bolts with 13mm wrench, and also I have installed this bolt here with 15mm wrench. Next I'm going to tighten it, this metal bracket that was connected, that was tightened on the inlet manifold. I had some problems with the hammer, but I had to keep going with the work. I have installed the aluminum mounting, 2 bolts with 10mm wrench, and after that I have put the metal plate, 2 nuts at the top with 10mm wrench, 1 bolt at the bottom with 10mm wrench, and 1 with 13mm wrench. After that I have returned the plastic can of the oil evaporator, 2 bolts here at the top with 8mm wrench, connected the lower hose. Also on this side I have installed the aluminum heat shield on top of the turbocharger, 3 bolts with 10mm wrench and 3 nuts with 10mm wrench. Now I'm going to install the metal pipe for the coolant. I have installed the coolant pipe, tightened the two bolts with 5mm hex wrench. Also I have installed this bolt with 10mm wrench. On this side I have installed the air cooler, connected the metal clamp, also the metal clamp on this side with the hose, two bolts with 13mm wrench. The clamps are with 5mm hex wrench, two bolts we have here with 13mm wrench. Also I have installed the thermostat, two bolts with 13mm wrench, connected the hoses. Next I'm going to install the oil evaporator hoses, and I'm going to install this the throttle body. I have installed this coolant pipe, tightened 3 bolts with 10mm wrench. Also I have installed the throttle body, 3 bolts with 5mm hex wrench, connected the throttle body, connected the temperature sensor, connected the two hoses here and here, also connected the oil evaporator hose, installed this vacuum line, tightened these two bolts with 10mm wrench, connected the vacuum line, connected this temperature sensor for the catalytic converter, connected the camshaft sensor. Next I'm going to install the glow plugs, the common rail, fuel injectors. I have installed the vacuum hoses, connected at the back. Also I have installed the plastic hose of the turbocharger, connected the oil evaporator hose. We have two bolts here with 10mm wrench. On this we have two bolts with female Torx 10. I have tightened the glow plugs. The glow plugs can be tightened with 9mm wrench. Next I'm going to install the fuel injectors. First I need new copper washers for the fuel injectors. The inside is cleaned very well, and also I have a flat surface. Here I have new copper washers for the fuel injectors. This is the part number. They are 2mm thick. I have installed the injectors, tightened with 12mm wrench. I had to remove the oil evaporator pipe. I forgot for the bolt of the injectors. I'm going to connect that. Also I'm going to connect the hoses of the intercooler and turbocharger, also the throttle body. I have installed the hoses, tightened these two bolts with female Torx 10. Also I have installed this metal pipe from the high pressure fuel pump. So now I'm going to install the common rail. I have installed the coolant pump, installed the camshaft sprocket, tightened it with 18mm wrench, installed the timing. Now for the fuel pump, you can put the M6 bolt here. For the camshaft, you can open the plug with 8mm hex wrench, and you can see there is a gap in the camshaft.
And for the crankshaft, usually this mark here should be towards the driver, and this one should be pointing down. Also I have set the tensioner, so now I can put back everything together, install the aluminum cover, the pulleys, crankshaft pulley, plastic covers. The aluminum cover has 3 bolts with 15mm wrench and 2 bolts at the bottom with 13mm wrench. So now I can install the roller for the drive belt. It goes here, and 1 bolt with female Torx 14. I have installed the plastic cover, 2 bolts with 13mm wrench and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts with Torx 40. Install the rubber mounting, 6 bolts with female Torx 14. So now I'm going to raise the vehicle, install the crankshaft pulley, install the drive belt. I have installed the crankshaft pulley, 4 bolts with Torx 45. Install the drive belt. Also I have connected the exhaust, 3 bolts with 13mm wrench and 2 bolts here on the mounting. Now I'm going to lower the vehicle, I'm going to install the battery stand, and I'm going to refill with coolant and start the engine. I have installed the air filter housing, connected the MAF sensor, also installed the battery stand, 3 bolts with 13mm wrench, installed the coolant expansion tank for the coolant, install the battery, refill with coolant. So now I can start the engine. Oh, because the fuel system is empty, the vehicle should crank a couple of times before the engine starts. The engine is working well. I'm going to leave the engine to work until it reaches normal working temperature. The vehicle has been working for more than 1 hour. So the coolant is circulating everywhere, all the hoses are okay, the coolant fan was working. I have refilled with coolant, now I can close the cap. I'm going to put the plastic cover on top of the engine, and this means that I am finished. If you like to see more videos, please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and thank you for watching.